Hello there, Emma. I'm just messaging to tell you that you should marry Gerald and not Tony.
Mimi, please. How many times have we already had the same conversation? The man that I've been dating this whole time is Tony, and he's the man I'm going to marry.
What are you talking about? I need to make sure that Gerald gets married before his brother. I've realized that when Tony brought you home with him that I had to do something to help Gerald find a wife quickly. So anyways, that's why you're going to be marrying Gerald instead. And I won't take no for an answer.
Mimi, you can say whatever you'd like, but it isn't going to change my mind about this. I'm going to marry Tony, and that's final. I mean, I don't even think I've spent more than an hour cumulatively with Gerald.
But I'm sure that you would come to love him if you just knew him a little better. I promise that he really is an amazing guy, and you wouldn't regret marrying him. Don't make me force this to happen. Don't forget that the two of you are married now. If you try and break this off or do anything to ruin the fact that you're engaged to Gerald, I will sue you into oblivion. Do you understand?
I seriously have no idea how to even respond to this, but please don't spout this crazy nonsense and then threaten me with legal action. Anyways, I have to go. Hey, Tony, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're away on your business trip. But it's just that your mom started talking to me about marrying your brother again.
You're kidding me. I thought that you talked to her about that.
In fact, apparently in her head she seems to think that Gerald and I are already engaged or something. There was one time she told me that if I broke off my engagement with him, that she would sue me.
Emma, I am so sorry that you're having to deal with all this right now. I wish my mom would stop all this nonsense.
I mean, I wonder how Gerald himself feels about all this. Probably doesn't like being put in this situation any more than I do. Feels like your mom would be the kind of person to push this, whether or not the both of us wanted it or not.
I think you're probably right about that. But actually, I talked to Gerald a little bit about this earlier.
Really? I didn't know you two were still talking. When was the last time that you even had a good chat with each other? If I remember correctly, you two haven't been the closest of people ever since Gerald quit his job at the big company and shut himself up in his room.
I know that it seems that way, but that's not what's really happening at all.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the real reason why he quit his first job was because he was in the process of publishing his first book.
Oh, really? I had no idea that Gerald wrote anything.
Well, it's already a bestseller and has even been picked up by some streaming service to be turned into a show.
That's amazing! He must be so proud!
I would think so. But he's basically doing all of this online, so he hasn't had the need to go into the office or even leave his room, really. Besides, he's always more of an indoor person anyways. I think he's probably glad to have less reasons to leave the house now.
Oh, I see, so that's how things are.
But I think that he still hasn't told anyone that he's gone and published his book already. I think he's just worried that if Mom finds out, she will just use it to brag to everyone she knows about him and just never give him any peace or privacy. So that's why he's been pretending to keep the antisocial shut-in this whole time. He's really just waiting for the right timing to come forward about this since he knows it's going to be a big deal. I think that Mom knows that you also work for a big company though. And so she wants you and Gerald to get married because she thinks he needs someone to take care of him.
So then, I think that I'm going to marry your brother and do everything for him on top of that?
Well, that's what my mom thinks. But Gerald doesn't want that at all.
Oh, well, as long as he understands that it isn't going to happen, that's good.
Right. So anyways, while we were talking, he explained all this to me and apologized for seeming to act so standoffish. But now the problem is how to move forward from here. In fact, Gerald was kind of hoping that you and I would be able to help him come out to the world as an author.
He wants our help with that. How so?
Well, the first thing I should let you know is that Gerald already has a fiancé.
Hold on a second, he does? I had no idea.
But yesterday, my mom was going on about how he needs to marry you again. Gerald mentioned something about already being engaged, however, and I guess my mom just assumed that he meant he was engaged to you. She thought that he was already in on her plan and was moving forward with it. You know that my mom probably wouldn't even listen to anything that proved the contrary.
Wow, your mom just really lives in her own world sometimes, doesn't she?
She has always been like this, though. Ever since we were little. Our mom has always tried to control every little thing we did and manage our lives.
You've told me a little bit about that before, but I feel bad for your brother having to deal with that.
But now that Mom has got it in her head that Gerald is engaged to you, he is worried that that is going to make things very difficult with his own fiancée, and that is what he wants our help with. So we're going to wait for a day when Mom is at home for all of us to meet and talk face to face.
Wow, this is all so much. You've been thinking about this a lot.
Well, this is going to be the talk where we can all finally decide how to get my mom out of our lives once and for all.
That's a pretty heavy task, but if you want help, just let me know what I can do.
Hello there, Emma. I assume the preparations for the wedding are continuing along nicely? And I imagine that you've already divorced Tony, yes?
I actually haven't done that at all, actually.
Excuse me? What are you doing? You need to get a divorce right now.
That's just not going to happen. In fact, Gerald said that it was a surprise for you that I wouldn't not be divorcing Tony, in fact.
A surprise for me? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't really know all the details, and can't say any more than this. I also have to go right now. Bye!
I see. Maybe Gerald is planning some kind of dramatic way to announce his marriage to you for everyone. Well, if he wants this to be a surprise, then I guess I won't ask any more questions either. Emma, where are you? Why haven't you arrived yet? You know you need to get here early for makeup and to fit into your dress. You're so late already. Emma, answer me right now. I have had just about enough of this nonsense, Emma.
Sorry, what are you talking about right now, Mimi?
I mean that you are supposed to marry Gerald so that you can take care of him. But now I've just been told that you've made a last-minute cancellation and you're not even going to be here? How could you just leave my poor boy at the altar like that?
I don't really know how else to say this, but Gerald and I were never going to get married. In fact, I'm on my honeymoon right now, actually.
What do you mean you're on your honeymoon?
I mean that Tony and I are on our honeymoon right now. And I suppose it's a good time as any to say that Tony and I got married in secret about 2 weeks ago.
But I don't get it. Gerald is here and he's still getting ready for the wedding.
Oh, I see. Well, either way, Tony and I have no intention of separating. And I was never going to marry Gerald either.
I won't let you get away with this. I mean, just who do you think is going to pay for all of this? You know that Gerald doesn't work. He can't afford something like this.
I don't know what is happening over there, and I don't want to. Please leave Tony and I out of it, okay? Now, goodbye.
Emma, you get back here right now and explain what's going on. What is going on here? I am still so confused.
What are you talking about this time, Mimi?
I mean that Gerald. My poor sweet little Gerald.
What about Gerald? Did something happen?
Well, he had to cancel the wedding since his bride never showed up. So he told me that he would take care of the cleanup and just go home. But then after I left, apparently some totally random lady showed up, and Gerald married her.
So then the wedding wasn't canceled after all.
I guess not. But I don't even know who this person is.
I'd probably guess it's the woman that Gerald was dating and then engaged to.
What are you talking about? Gerald wasn't seeing anyone because he was supposed to be marrying you. I think I would know if my son was engaged to someone.
Are you really sure about that?
Of course I am. But this is all your fault. You're the one making this happen. You stabbed my son in the back, and now you've made him marry some stranger out of desperation. How do you sleep at night?
Mom, you've got to stop this. It's getting ridiculous.
Tony, what is this all about?
Did you really have no idea that Gerald was seeing this girl this whole time?
Why are you talking to me about your brother? If you're mad at him for trying to steal your wife, go talk to him about it.
Mom, he was never trying to do anything like that. You were the one that got it in your head to try and set up Kenna with Gerald, but neither of them wanted that. Gerald tried to tell you that he was already engaged, but you only heard what you wanted to hear and thought that he meant to Emma. You always do this. You never listen to when other people try to say when you're wrong.
How can you say something like that to your own mother?
Because it's true. Speaking of, have you seen Gerald's room?
What about his room? Give me a moment. I don't get it. What is going on? The whole room is totally empty. There's nothing left.
Well, it was all Gerald's idea, really. Although he left you a note explaining things in your mailbox. I would read that very carefully so you can understand how Gerald and I really feel about all of this. Although it's way too late to change our minds now. This is my last goodbye, Mom. Have a nice life.
Wait, no, Tony! I still don't understand!
In the end, Gerald stopped talking to his mom without ever telling her what he really did for a living. Now he lives with his wife close to her parents. Tony and I have also moved recently as part of a job transfer. The new job was partially for better pay, but also because Tony didn't want his mom barging into the office and embarrassing him. She actually did do that, but it was too late and we were already gone. Also, Tony asked the receptionist at his office to tell her that we had quit. With no way to track us down, Mimi was left with no family to turn to, and lives out her days in her big empty house all by herself.
Hello! Nice to meet you. We really need to talk. You must be Kate, right? I've heard so much about you. My name is Tina, and I'm Tom's girlfriend. I got your number by secretly looking through his phone while he was in the shower.
I'm sorry, but who is this? I have no idea who you are.
I just introduced myself to you. Can you not read? My name is Tina. Doesn't my name ring a bell? Did Tom not say anything to you at all? There was a high school reunion recently, and we really hit it off. We just couldn't resist each other and ended up having so much fun. I thought that he would have asked you to divorce him so that he could be with me. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten around to it yet.
I still don't have any idea what you're talking about. Who is this Tom that you keep mentioning?
What? Stop pretending that you don't know. He's your husband, right? Did you lose all your memory from being so shocked that you lost him to me? I bet you that I know him so much better than you. We've been friends for such a long time now. Someone like you has no chance once I decided to go for him. Oh, and one more thing. I've got some great news for you. I already posted on Instagram that I'm going to get married to him. You should check out the picture. We look so cute together. I'm getting so many likes on the post as well. Now everyone officially knows that me and Tom are together. Now all that is left is for you to get divorced with him. Once that's done, all the preparations for my plan is complete. So, I'm asking you very nicely to hurry up and get divorced.
First of all, I still have no idea who Tom is. Would you be able to tell me his surname?
You're still pretending that you don't know? Are you joking? It's not even funny. Why do I have to tell you his surname? It's the same as yours. You guys are married, aren't you? Do you just want me to say it so that you can prove that he's yours or something?
No, it's nothing like that. I honestly just don't recognize that name at all. If you can't tell me, then it's no big deal. I'll check with my husband if he knows what you're talking about just in case.
I'm telling you that your husband is Tom. Why don't you understand such a simple thing? Are you just that stupid? I would go to the doctors if I were you. No wonder he left you for me.
That's enough. I've got to go now, so goodbye. Hey! Do you have some time right now? I know that you're on a trip for work, so no problem if you're busy. Hey, Katie. I have some time right now. What's the matter? There's something that I wanted to ask you, and it's pretty urgent. What is it? Do you know someone called Tina? She says that you guys are childhood friends. Tina? That's a name that I don't recognize at all. I don't think I have any childhood friends that are girls anyway. All my childhood friends are guys. So, I guess she isn't your childhood friend. Do you have any friends called Tina? I don't think so. Do you know someone called Tom, then? Is that a name that sounds familiar to you? Tom? Well, that's a pretty common name. Yeah, I think that I know of a Tom, but not that well. I'm not even 100% sure about it, but I feel like I used to know him. So, you think that you know who it is, then? Yeah, I guess so. Although, it's not someone that I remember very clearly after hearing the name, so I probably wasn't that close with him. I'll let you know if I remember something about him. Okay, thanks so much for the help. I was getting kind of worried. Yeah, no problem. But what's with the weird question, though? It's a little out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm sorry for asking something weird all of a sudden. I received this really weird text earlier today from someone that I didn't know. They were being pretty aggressive towards me, too. I thought that I should choose how to respond depending on if you knew about it or not, so I checked with you first. What kind of text was this? Would you be able to explain to me what's happening? It's a little confusing to try to explain over text, so let me just send you a screenshot of all the messages. It's a little long, so bear with me for a second. That should be all of it. Would you let me know once you're done reading? Yeah, sure. I'll text you in a little bit once I finish reading it. I just finished reading it. What the hell were those texts? That was so strange. Yeah, it's so strange, right? I felt the same way when I first received the texts. So, let me get this straight. A woman called Tina got reunited with a guy called Tom at a high school reunion, and they hit it off and became a couple. This woman called Tina mistakes you as the wife of the guy called Tom. She then went ahead and admitted that she's cheating with him and announced they're getting married. Now she's asking you, who's my wife, to get divorced when you have nothing to do with any of this. Yeah, I think it's something along those lines. None of this makes any sense to me. I was just so confused. Yeah, I agree. It makes no sense at all. I think that she just got the wrong number or something. Well, at least I hope that's what it is. I don't want to get involved in this mess. I really don't know what to do, though, because I really can't remember anyone named Tom or Tina from that long ago. I just don't think it's complete strangers. She got your number from Tom's phone after all, so you guys must be connected in some way, right? Yeah, that's true, actually. So, I guess that means your number was on the contacts list of Tom's phone. Maybe it's better if you try to remember who he is. Right, that would make a lot of sense. It's just that I really don't recognize his name at all. I think if I knew his surname, I would have a better chance at remembering who it is, but unfortunately, they didn't tell me. Yeah, I saw the messages in the screenshots. She seems like a pretty difficult person to talk to. Yeah. She doesn't seem like the nicest of people, does she? I guess she would have realized that she had the wrong person if I told her my surname. But I didn't want to give out too much personal info to a stranger. Especially a crazy stranger like her. Yeah, you made the right choice, I think. I don't think you should be telling her anything about you until you figure out who it is. Well, as long as she's not causing you any immediate problems. I just sit back and see how things progress. I'll be done with my work trip by tomorrow too, so I can try and help you figure it out once I'm home. If you feel unsafe staying at home by yourself, then you can always go to my parents' place and stay the night there. I can contact my mom for you if you would like. Actually, that sounds like a great idea. I'm a little nervous because I don't know who they are. I'm so sorry to bother you during your work trip. I know that you must be really tired. It's no problem at all. Make sure to contact me if anything happens. It makes me happy when I see your name pop up on my phone. Well, I've got to wake up pretty early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed soon. Good night. Yeah, thanks so much. Good night. Katie! I figured out who they are. Oh, good morning, Henry. What do you mean? You figured out who they are? Who? Yeah, I remember who the guy called Tom is now. Really? That's great to hear. I was telling my coworker about the text messages without giving away too many details, and that's when I realized something. Who the hell is he? My train is almost at our station, and I'll head straight home once I'm off the train. Let me explain it to you when I get back. It's a little difficult to explain with just texts. Okay, sounds good. Make sure you come home safely. See you in a little bit.
Hello, Kate. Are you still not going to get divorced with him? Just give up and admit that you've lost already. Hurry up and get the divorce.
Hey, your name was Tina, right? How are you doing?
Ugh, there's no need for that. Just hurry up and get divorced. That's all I want from you.
Okay, let me just ask you one thing. Whose husband are you talking about? There's been a misunderstanding, so I think we should start there.
What? You're still pretending that you don't know what I'm talking about? How many times do we have to have this same conversation? Stop making up these excuses and stop changing the subject. There's only one thing I'm asking you to do, and it's very simple. Hurry up and get the divorce.
Calm down and listen to what I have to say to you. I found out some pretty interesting things in the past few days. I'm sure you would love to hear it all.
Found out? What are you talking about?
I'm actually not the person that you meant to text. I think that you were looking for someone called Kate. My name is Katie, by the way.
You're joking, right? There's no way I made such a stupid mistake.
Unfortunately for you, we have similar names, but there is an extra letter in my name. Although a lot of people do call me Kate by accident. I think that you must have been rushing when looking through Tom's phone. You chose the wrong person and texted me instead of the Kate that you thought you were texting.
What do you mean? Wait, then who the hell are you? You must know Tom in some way, right? You were on his contacts after all. It's not like you guys are complete strangers to each other.
I used to be co-workers with him.
Used to be?
Yeah, I was working for that same company that Tom works for until 4 years ago. We were both working for similar departments within the company, so I think that's why we had each other's contact number, just in case. I guess that Tom hadn't gotten around to deleting my number when I decided to leave the company.
Why are you telling me this all now? You didn't say anything like this when I talked to you the other day.
Yeah, there was a good reason why I didn't recognize his name when you texted me the other day. Tom went by a different name when he was at the company. I guess he really wanted to separate his work life and his private life.
He uses a different name at the company?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I found out. I only knew of the name he used at the company, so that's why I didn't recognize the name Tom when you asked me. I only managed to find out about this because one of my friends still worked at my old company. I was telling her about these text messages, and that's when we managed to figure out who it was about.
Oh, I see. It's great that you managed to figure that out.
So anyway, that's what's happening. So there is no point talking to me anymore. No matter how many times you ask me to get a divorce, it's not going to matter at all. There's other people that you should be talking to, so please stop being so aggressive towards me.
Now all of this makes a little more sense. I knew you were acting so strange. I guess I'm going to have to go back through his phone and find his real wife to get in contact with. What a waste of time. I can't believe I talked to you for this long. My wedding is coming up this weekend. I don't have any more time to waste now.
This weekend? Is that soon?
Yeah, I wanted it done as soon as possible. One of my relatives owns a really nice restaurant, so that's where we're going to get married. We spent around $20,000 on it, so the food is just going to be amazing. That's why I decided to announce that we're getting married on Instagram the other day. I said that anyone could come, so I think there's over 100 people planning to come at the moment. I really need his wife to get divorced as soon as possible so this wedding can take place.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. Anyway, you were the wrong person, so I don't really want to be wasting any more of my precious time on you. I've got lots of things I need to get done, so goodbye. Hey, Katie! I need your help right now. Would you be able to contact Tom for me by any chance?
What? Why are you asking me? You're going to marry him, right? I thought that I was the wrong person and that you didn't need to talk to me anymore.
Stop talking about things that don't matter. Just hurry up and get in contact with Tom for me. It's really urgent.
Why do you want me to contact him? Is there something happening?
Today's the day of the wedding and he still hasn't turned up to the venue. On top of that, neither of his parents or relatives have turned up. None of his friends have arrived here either. It's a huge emergency. There's barely anyone here and the wedding is starting soon. He won't answer any of my texts or calls either. Ugh, what the hell is happening? I'm getting so frustrated now. How could this be happening to me? It's the day of my wedding. It's meant to be one of the best days of my life, isn't it?
Well, it's pretty obvious why they haven't turned up.
What did you just say?
I heard about what happened through one of my friends at my old company. You got him really drunk at that reunion party you guys went to and spent the night with him. Then you blackmailed him into dating you by threatening to show the photos from that night to his wife. You took it even further and tried to force him to marry by blackmailing him, right?
It's not like that. Stop blaming me for something I didn't do. Maybe our relationship kind of started off that way, but we really love each other. We made love so many times after that reunion party, so that must mean that he really loves me. I'm 100% sure that I'm the only one that he thinks about.
Well, if that's the case, then why hasn't he arrived at the wedding venue?
I guess his wife is not letting him leave their house. She must have locked him into his room or something.
You really are a pathetic person, aren't you?
What did you just call me?
What you have isn't even a relationship. It's just you forcing him to stay with you because of blackmail. It's pathetic that you are only able to be with someone because of blackmail.
What do you mean by that?
I was told that I could tell you this if you decided to contact me again. So yeah, listen very closely to what I have to say to you. Tom is no longer in America. He's left the country.
No way! What did you just say?
He's gone. You probably won't ever see him again. You decided to post a photo of you guys on Instagram, so there was no point blackmailing him anymore. The information was out for everyone to see, including Tom's wife. He gave up trying to hide what happened and decided to tell his wife the truth about everything. He explained everything and begged for forgiveness. His wife decided to forgive him as he told her the truth. She was angry, but also understood a lot of what happened was your fault. Tom was really stressed out because you were blackmailing him and forcing him to keep seeing you. He started to have some mental issues and decided to quit his job so that he could get some rest and treatment. His wife had some connections with some doctors in another country. They've already left the country to go and get his mental illness treated.
What are you talking about? None of this can be true, right? We're meant to start our life as a family today. There's no way what you just told me is true. He wouldn't betray me like that. It's just not fair at all. We both love each other so much. We're meant to be destined for each other. It's not acceptable for him to just leave me like this.
I really think that you might need to get some treatment for a mental illness, too. I'd recommend you get some therapy sessions.
How dare you say such a thing to me? Who are you anyway? You're just a random stranger. Don't you dare talk to me like that ever again.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea why you're getting mad at me. None of your problems are going to get solved by talking to me. It's just a complete waste of time for the both of us. In fact, I told you the other day that I had no idea what you're talking about. I really don't know why you decided to contact me again.
Well, there's a reason.
Oh, and one more thing that I just remembered. Tom canceled the mobile contract that he had here, so you won't be able to contact him with the number you have right now.
What? He changed his number? How come I haven't heard anything about it? Would you hurry up and tell me what his new contact number is? You know what it is, right? Tell me now!
I haven't got his new number. I'm just an ex-coworker after all. We had barely talked to each other anyway. Anyway, would you please stop contacting me now? There's no way in which I can help you. Also, I don't really enjoy talking to you at all.
Don't be like that! How could this happen to me? Today was meant to be a really special day for me. It was my wedding day.
Well, I guess it was a special day. In a bad way.
Why did things end up like this? I don't deserve this at all. Please, just give him back to me.
I wanted to reply to her last message saying that I can't do anything about him leaving. However, I realized that this conversation would never end, so I just blocked her instead. I heard about everything else that happened from my coworker that still works at my old company. The day after their wedding got canceled, Tina stormed into the office of my old company and demanded that they give Tom back to her. As I had told her earlier, he had already quit the company, so he wasn't at the office. She kept screaming and causing a scene at the office and ended up escorted out by security. She was banned from entering the building. There was also a huge cancellation fee for the wedding as it was canceled on the day. The restaurant had already made all the preparations in advance, so the cancellation fees added up to the original cost of the wedding, which was almost $20,000. She was unable to pay that amount of money and ended up having to work as a cleaner in the kitchen to make up for it. On top of that, there was a lawsuit being prepared against her for blackmailing Tom, and the media is scandalizing the case as sextortion. It looks like she has a lot more problems coming her way in the near future. I imagine it's going to be very tough for her, but at the same time, I don't really feel that sorry for her. She kinda deserves it after all.